All right, so I'm back again and I'm doing a little bit of a channel update. Something I don't do too often, but something I think is kind of important right now. As I've said in some of my previous videos, I've pretty much reviewed all the equipment I have, and I've reviewed a lot of the books and stuff I have, and those reviews never seem to go quite as well for some reason, even though I think they're kind of informative and important. So I'm actually going to be focusing and doing a lot more work on a project. I've been working on this project for about a year now. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details about it because I feel in some ways that kind of spoils it. But it is something I'm doing locally, and I think I've got some pretty good images so far, and it's got a lot of promise. But I'd like to really hunker down and try to have a lot more to show by the end of the summer, or at least by Christmas time. I don't know which it'll be, but I'm hoping I have a pretty impressive body work that's a lot bigger. I got my Sony A7 right here. This is one of the cameras I've been using a lot just because it is very compact. And I've got the little TT Artisans lens in it. I've been using that a lot. It's not particularly fast. It's only an f5.6, but regardless of that, I think it works pretty well. I'm actually shooting this video on my iPhone. That's why the sound is going to be terrible, but I kind of wanted to show this off just so you get an idea of what I'm doing with the project and kind of how I'm shooting. This is really the only digital camera I have. I have a Sony, or not a Sony, but a Nikon Z6 Mark II I kind of have contact with right now I'm holding, and I don't like the lens that came with it. It was a sort of a consignment from an estate sale, and it's not even really mine. I'm trying to sell it for somebody else, but I have been using it a little bit, and I haven't really been able to find any buyers locally. So that might also be part of the project. I'd love to shoot it on film, but I don't really have the patience, I guess, would be the big sticking point right there. But I was just letting everybody know this because I don't think I'll be doing any more reviews or a lot of the standard videos I've been doing for the last year or so. I know they haven't been too frequent, but I will come back someday and I'll have some updates on the projects and maybe show a couple other projects I've worked on in the past. I'd kind of like to lean into having more of a photographic centric channel instead of one that's so much based on camera reviews and stuff. I really like that stuff, but at the same time, I feel like in some ways it is kind of pedantic and it does distract from the true intent, which is to take good photos. So while I'm here, I'm going to move the camera aside now that I've got everybody's attention, and I'm going to show off one of the images right here I printed. This is a small part of the project. This is just one I took not terribly long ago, and I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera here, but you can kind of see. You basically have two horsemen right here. This is part of an event that happens kind of locally on an annual basis, and I went to it a few months ago, and I got some pretty cool photos, but this was probably one of my favorite, and I've shown this around to some people. And there's a lot of other people I've talked to that are pretty skilled photographers that just like the composition and the style and say this is a good image from the series. And I really like it. I think so far it's probably one of my favorite standalone images because it doesn't, it's one of those interesting images where you look at it and you get you get the part of the horseman here and the whole horseman over here in the background. It's a nice composition. It's kind of a complete photo in itself, but it does kind of make you ask more questions like, where is this? What's going on? People don't really ride horses nowadays. And you don't really have any sort of background either, which is kind of interesting, and I kind of like that. So this is definitely an image that is going to be part of the final project. I don't know if this will be one of the key images, but I do like it, and it will definitely be included in that project. You get a little hint. It's black and white, shot at digital, but I converted. And this is just hopefully a small taste of things to come. So hopefully I'll be back in a couple months and have something nice to show you, or at least have another camera or lens or something to review. But we don't all know what the future holds, so for now I'm just giving you a little update and a little peek of things to come. So hope you enjoyed this, and again, hopefully I'll be back in a couple months with a little bit more to show. Till then, get out there and just keep shooting. Don't get too obsessed with the cameras and collecting them. Try actually getting out and shooting.